Hello viewers. Donald Trump's enterprise was once located responsible of enticing in a tax fraud over greater than a decade, in which executives inclusive of former Chief Economic Officer Allen Weisselberg evaded taxes on company-paid perks together with free flats and luxurious cars. It is the first time a Trump commercial enterprise has been convicted of crook habits and comes as the former president is jogging for a 2D term. As we move on, please take a minute of your precious time to hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell for latest updates from us. The momentous verdict additionally comes as he faces a raft of different felony perils, which includes crook probes of his coping with of categorized files and of efforts via Trump and his allies to overturn the 2020 election. The jury reached its verdict Tuesday on the Trump Organization's Trump Corporation and Trump Payroll Corporation devices after a month-long trial. During the trial, prosecutors in the workplace of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg showed that over a 13-year period, Trump executives regularly disguised excursion bonuses as consulting charges, and that Trump even paid for the non-public faculty training of Weisselberg's grandchildren. The monetary penalty at sentencing is probably to be solely about $1.6 million, however the effect on the Trump Organization may additionally be greater. For example, it should have bother making offers in the future. Trump explicitly sanctioned tax fraud prosecutor tells jury the company faces a host of intangibles, said Bennett Gershman, a professor at Pace University's Regulation School. The dad or mum company, as a felon, may want to be barred from having contracts with authorities agencies, and it may want to make it extra hard to do enterprise with banks, Gershman stated in an interview before the verdict. This is a large deal. The verdict is the fruits of a 3-year investigation of Trump and his enterprise practices by means of the DA's workplace and New York Attorney General Letitia James. It was once the solely crook case to stem from the investigation. But the probe isn't over. On Monday, Bragg announced that he had employed Matthew Colangelo, a former senior Justice Department professional, with a report of difficult Trump and his firm to center of attention on the office's most necessary. Meanwhile, James is pursuing a $250 million civil go well with an opposition to the Trump Organization. She claims the Trumps inflated the price of the firm's property and is looking for penalties, inclusive of an everlasting ban on the 4 strolling agencies in the state. Trump sued through New York over fraudulent asset valuations. In addition, Trump faces crook probes of efforts he and his allies made to overturn the 2020 presidential election and of his dealing with of labeled authorities files at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida home. Trump has known as the instances and investigations baseless political vendettas. In a Truth Social post last week, as the Trump Organization trial was once wrapping up, he stated there was once no obtain for Trump and that we had no information of it. Prosecutors argued that Weisselberg and Trump Organization controller Jeffrey McConney have been high managerial agents who acted on behalf of the companies. The protection contended that the executives cheated for their personal enrichment on my own and saved the 2 commercial enterprise units, Trump and his household, in the dark. The trial supplied an uncommon glimpse of the internal workings of Trump's carefully held company. The jurors noticed how Weisselberg and different executives, such as the firm's pinnacle attorney and chief working officer, bought full-size chunks of their annual pay as untaxed fringe benefits. McConney testified that these practices had been in area till Trump grew to become president in 2017. Trump had losses of $900 million in 2 years, jury told the prosecution. Known as 5 witnesses, inclusive of famous person witness Weisselberg, had pleaded responsible in August to skirting taxes in about $1.76 million on perks and testified in hopes of an extra lenient sentence than the 15 years he ought to have faced. McConney additionally testified for Bragg's office beneath a provider immunity, even though he used to be sooner or later declared an antagonistic witness after being evasive on the stand. The Trump businesses referred to as 2 witnesses, along with an backyard accountant for the organization whom they blamed for failing to notice the fraud. What is your take on this video? Please kindly drop your comments below and thanks for watching.